players, but here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Newkirk Precinct. Spawning in the bottom left position as the blue Terran player from the team STX Soul, it is INnoVation. And his opponent spawning in the bottom right position as the pink Zerg player from team Samsung Khan, it is Solar. Trip my mouse. Just trying to make sure everything is running all right. Now, this is going to be the first game in this best of 3 for this match. And just a little bit of clarification. So we're in the round of 16 of this. This is the stage 2 of this qualifier. A lot of these players had to make it through the Caspa qualifier that we had before, as well as the Open Taiwan Korea qualifier that was played yesterday morning. EST, I guess, if that's your thing. So a lot of players come in. There was a huge qualifier. Players like Flash were eliminated trying to get to this space. And already we see Solar looking around with an early drone scout, trying to make sure that INnoVation isn't going to be doing anything cheesy. And if you guys have seen INnoVation's play, he probably the most difficult to read player. And that's only because he doesn't do anything unusual, but he does everything well. And that's really his big strength. He can 2-racks you like the best of them. He can also just play out the macro game and just has... You know, he's a mechanical monster. If you've seen his interviews, this guy probably doesn't do anything other than StarCraft. I wouldn't be surprised if when he goes exercising or whatever, he just listens to the StarCraft soundtrack. But Solar, of course, Samsung Khan, another Pro League competitor. These guys are tip-top Korean players. You don't really get better than this sort of matchup. Solar, maybe not as renowned at the moment as some other Zergs like Solkey or Roro, but still a very competent opponent. And he'll be going for the hatchery first, into the gas, into the spawning pool. So it does look like Solar maybe looking to go into a little bit of perhaps early aggression. Could just be getting Zergling speed to check around. Nothing weird. INnoVation, however, command center first, barracks, gas. Very standard opening for a Terran player against Zerg. Some of the features of this map that might play a little bit of a hand here in this game. The rush distance isn't that long, so it's definitely possible that we could see this early aggression from the Zerg player. It'll be quite effective, since it doesn't take long for roaches to cross the map, or speedlings, and then of course banelings. There's just a wide variety of strategies that are good, and the airspace here will make builds like fast Hellbats, fast Banshees, also quite effective for INnoVation. But it will all come down to how much gas Solar wants to mine, how much he wants to commit to this, and he's going to actually just get enough gas for Zergling speed and then stop mining it. INnoVation will scout this. He clicks on the extractor. He knows what is up. He knows of the expansion. He has all of the cards in front of him, pretty much. He knows everything that he needs to know. And Bunker is going to go up at the front. INnoVation wants to play this one about as safe as he can. Should be starting up his factory now as well. And this map has a somewhat larger ramp. It's not really the tiniest one that you've ever seen, but it's definitely possible to wall it off. The issue here is that there's a lot of space behind this, so if a Zergling run by, for say, occurred with the speed, if the wall wasn't complete, then the Marines in the bunker can't really defend the mineral line, can't really defend the ramp terribly well, so INnoVation is going to just need to be on top of his game as far as preparing and scouting what Solar wants to do. And Solar's Zergling speed is halfway done. He's just continuing to drone up. This is the early phase of this game, but he hasn't taken a third hatchery just yet, despite knowing about the command center first. This could be a sign that he wants to go for a little bit of aggression. It doesn't really, it's not a tell per se, but he also has overlords in position to scout out what's happening in the later phases. The factory is done. We see a third command center coming in. Only still 1 gas for INnoVation. This is about as standard as a Terran versus Zerg opener gets in Heart of the Swarm. We'll likely see him start up his stim pack and then take his second refinery in his main base very soon. And there we have the third base on the way for Solar. So this game, a pretty slow startup, I guess you could say, but that's that's to be expected. These guys have a bit of a tough road ahead of them. A lot of very good players in this qualifier. INnoVation, perhaps one of the players that might be suggested to make it through. And keep in mind, guys, the top 2 players in this qualifier, there's no one winner. There's 2 players that will reach IEM Shanghai, and they have paid trips. So, paid trip to go play StarCraft, and most likely, if you're going to win this qualifier, you're probably going to be in a good position to take the whole thing. So, it's the stakes are there. But double evolution chamber coming up as these Hellions do a little bit of scouting, a little bit of harass, poking around for INnoVation. We'll of course love to deny creep tumors if he could, but he's just doing his thing. Stim pack is on the way. INnoVation's still on 1 gas. Now he's going to take the second one, as his stim is about 40 seconds deep. So what INnoVation's follow-up will likely be just a couple of additional barracks, move into a starport, and just move into that bio mid-game. And the thing about INnoVation is he doesn't do anything weird. He's going to go Marines and Widow Mines with Medivacs. We could potentially see him throwing a Marauder here or there based on what Solar does, but Solar's playing very standard as well. Taking these Queens out, pressing the creep towards the third base, beginning to drone this up, and INnoVation just wants to keep map control with these Hellions. Deny creep tumors here and there. There he goes, actually shutting one down right there. And if he can, maybe pick off a drone that's stray, but he's not really the kind of guy to go for big dives. He's kind of feigning a little bit of commitment there, and that's actually, we already have 10 links coming out for Solar. So anything that Solar makes that isn't drones at this point is big for INnoVation, especially with that third command center. The lair is now on the way with the 1-1 for our Zerg player. 1-1 also starting up for INnoVation, so nothing really unusual happening here. He's got a couple of Widow Mines he can use defensively. He doesn't really have to worry about any aggression, though. We don't even have a Baneling nest on the field for the Zerg player, so he can't really do too much. INnoVation's actually going to run in towards the third base mineral line, decides to change his mind at the last second. Will lose one of these Hellions. 2 of the Hellions do fall for INnoVation. Nice pickups here for Solar. You know, and anything that he can get is good. Losing a couple of links for a couple Hellions. Those Hellions, once those are gone, that's a large portion of the map control for INnoVation. We might see him bring some SCVs to repair these. He is landing the third base at a pretty nice timing. So with these Widow Mines burrowed, they're going to help deter speedling aggression, anything like that. Pneumaticized Carapace is coming in for Solar. This is the Overlord speed upgrade that will allow him to keep his Overseers as well, moving fast enough with his army that he can pick off the Widow Mines, that he can, of course, get easier scouting with his Overlords in the main base. And as we see, he is playing this super standard. Aspire on the way, so it's going to be Ling, Baneling, Mutalisk versus Marine, Widow Mine, Medivac. And this, you know, this is almost, I would say, a tale as old as time for Heart of the Swarm, but it's only been, the game's only been out for a couple of months, so it's really the most popular strategy right now, though. Some players going in, like Hyun, going a little bit more Roaches. We have some players going a little bit more Hellbats for Terran players, or a little bit more Marauders. But INnoVation likes to go mostly Marines. We see he's going to trickle in a couple of, at least 1 or 2 Marauders, but mostly those are for tanking purposes. INnoVation's one of those guys that has such good mechanics. Splitting Marines versus Banelings is not really a problem for him. It's almost like pressing a button and all his Marines just scatter. But his 1-1's completing. We do see his armory is going to be a tad bit late, about 40 seconds. So the starting of his 2-2 will be slightly delayed. This means that Solar can actually begin his 2-2 before INnoVation, since the upgrades for them are quite close. And this gives Solar maybe a 30-second upgrade window, but the Hellions now coming on. We see INnoVation pressing forward, trying to deny some of this creep spread. Also burying these Widow Mines. And just denying the creep, wants to keep Solar on his side of the field. Solar has a pretty good amount of map vision, as we can see. He's producing a couple of more Banelings now as INnoVation continues to creep forward, but he has Overlords in the top area overlooking drops, and Overlord in the bottom. So being able to spot INnoVation moving out on the field is a very important facet of this game for Solar. And INnoVation denying the creep spread is him just making sure that this map isn't going to snowball into a big scouting pool for Solar. The first couple Mutalisks are coming out now for the Zerg player. 2-2 has begun for INnoVation. It's not terribly far behind. Just that 40 seconds, of course, that, I mean, it was 40 seconds late on the Armory. Upgrades 40 seconds behind. Not a huge deal, but if he hits right when the 2-2 finishes, he could find a way to exploit that timing. +1 vehicle and ship plating is coming in. This is going to help out those Medivacs as well as the Widow Mines. Drop is going to get caught in the top right of the map. The Marines and Marauders are dropped. Kill off 1 Mutalist. Nice catch here. The Marines and the Hellions still pressing forward towards this third base. Baneling gets a detonation. Not anything super big. Needs to be worried of these Widow Mines. There are 3 of them scattered around this bio force, and he wants to come in here and just do pressure, maybe kill a couple of the drones at this base. A large portion of the bio has fallen already, though, and INnoVation is just continuing to press forward. The Zerglings are going to crash in with these Banelings and the Mutalists. The Widow Mine's not really making pay dirt, but INnoVation, with the reinforcing unit streaming in across the field, he is going to be able to slow this push down. I think we could potentially see a scan pick off some more creep tumors. He's added on a couple of additional Widow Mines as well to supplement this force, and he wants to wait for the cooldowns on these mines to run out before he presses presses in, be able to catch the banelings with them. There is not actually an overseer here, one with the banelings, but not with these mutas, so he can't just come in here and pick these off at the moment. The Marines are spread quite well, and well, as the cooldowns run out, here come the banelings, and the Mutalisk going to try to catch this. Will INnoVation's Widowmines get the hits that they need? Nothing just yet. Neither player really ready to commit fully here, and more mines are beginning to plop themselves down, and INnoVation is in a great aggressive position. Takes a Widowmine hit actually on himself, but the mine's not really getting any big hits off, but as long as INnoVation has units here to fight with, he's going to be doing quite fine. Infestation Pit's about to complete. 54 Zerglings. Another 50 Zerglings on the way. Mutalisk attack upgrade +1 is going to complete in just a moment here. Widowmine's going for a couple of shots, but really not actually able to hit anything nice. And with the Overseer, he's going to clean up a few of these Widowmines, and we could see INnoVation finally shoved back as his 2-2 is about to complete. So there's a little bit of an upgrade advantage there for Solar during the last few moments of that fight. Mutalisk's going to try to go to work on these... almost getting to work on those rocks, killing a Marine. And INnoVation's going to start up a 4th command center. We see the barracks production is increasing. INnoVation wants to just pretty much add on a lot more production. Get ready for the hive tech that is now on the way, Solar, with the hive building. And INnoVation's been having this non-stop, relentless aggression, just constantly pressing forward. We have a double drop over towards that top side base. A couple of the Widowmines landing on these Mutalisks, doing a lot of damage. And INnoVation is trying to use his mechanics to get that multi-prong aggression, and the 2-2 Marines doing quite well. But this Bile Force by the 3rd is going to be mostly cleaned up. A couple of Banelings trying to shut that down. Just 3 Marines left, and INnoVation, he's just doing everything possible to just bring on the pressure, and Solar keeping the supply very even. He hasn't lost any of his economy, which is, you know, one of the more important things here. INnoVation's killed a single drone in this game, but here we go. Another big bio push from the Terran player. Here we go. He has the 3-3 started up as well. The Widowmines burrowing, not getting any big money shots off just yet, and all the Widowmines are actually going to get cleaned up for INnoVation, so nice defense by Solar. INnoVation still maintains a supply lead. He has the drilling claws upgrade for the Widowmines. They are going to be able to just burrow very quickly. But Solar, he's got a lot of Banelings here. This could be where he tries to just get an overwhelming army advantage on this force. 2 Widowmines parked in the back, 1 in the front, and not going to actually be able to make pay dirt on anything. And INnoVation is continuing to press forward, but he's not dealing the critical damage that he would be looking to do. As long as he keeps trading for these gas units, though, we see we don't have an Ultralisk Cavern yet, and these Marines are going to get caught by these Banelings and Zerglings. INnoVation will have to load up the Medivacs on their boosters, reinforcing Marines coming in to supplement this force. These 2 Widowmines actually still parked at the top side base for Solar, but INnoVation is now being driven back by the Zerg player, who has managed to really just make these Widowmines completely useless. These Widowmines have not gotten a single good shot off this entire game, and now we actually have the Greater Spire on the way. This is a bit unusual. We don't really see this terribly much anymore in the Zerg versus Terran matchup, mostly because Ultralisks are just really, really good at dealing with the heavy Marine play. They can tank the Widowmine shots quite well, but this could catch INnoVation off guard if he doesn't have enough anti-air. He's producing 4 Widowmines at a time. We have a large number of barracks production, 8 of them available. The 3 factories set up, but he's got the 4th base now. That will give him a lot more income to produce these Marines. The real question is, if he trickles in Marauders, that will help deal with Ultralisks, but no Vikings means that once these Broodlords get out, if INnoVation doesn't scout this, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And now he is trying to press forward into this bottom side base. Again, the Planetary Fortress defends him from the Ling run by, and there's a lot of bile here for INnoVation. Solar needs to hold on a little bit longer. He's 20 seconds away from getting that Greater Spire, and then the Broodlords are really going to be able to turn things around for him. But will he survive to that point is the question, and INnoVation is continuing to press forward. Takes out the Extractor, going for a couple of these Zerglings. These preemptive splits, quite nice for STX Terran. Blowing over the Rock Tower, actually killing a couple of these Marines. And a couple of the Zerglings as well. INnoVation's trying to now bust that down and get to the other side. Solar, I like that this was knocked down. Couldn't actually tell which player knocked it over. Might have just been Baneling Splash, but buying time is so important. 4 Broodlords are on the way for Solar. Still no Vikings in production. Lots of Medivacs for INnoVation. He's continuing to just bring the heat. He has been assaulting this location on this map the entire game long, but now the Broodlords are about to finish up. This could be what he needs to shove this back, of course. Broodlord's very good versus Widowmines, and actually the Ling Bane Muta might be able to stave this attack off just before the Broodlords come in, and here they are. The Widowmines will burrow, but the Broodlings will cause lots of friendly fire to INnoVation. And at this point, pressing into this location is going to be very difficult if he cannot get the Marines under the Broodlords. It does look like Solar should be able to shove our STX Terran back, at least for now. INnoVation continuing to retreat. The Broodlings giving a little bit of chase. Of course, they trigger all the Widow Mines. But, you know, Solar still hasn't really lost any of his drones. The real big problem here for him, though, is that he's on an even number of bases with INnoVation. He needs to secure more. And the other problem is Bio is so fast, and these Broodlords are so slow. Ultralisk Cavern is coming in, but there hasn't really been a huge commitment to Broodlords. The Broodlords are mostly just dealing with the Widow Mines. And now INnoVation wants to push the top side base. The Broodlords are here, but they're not at this bottom base. INnoVation will be able to take out this hatchery. No problem at all. The Widow Mines detonating on INnoVation's own forces. He's not going to be able to take this base out, but at least trading base for base. One thing that's nice for Solar is that he only lost the base that has, well, not really too many resources left. He's had that one much longer than this right side base. And now INnoVation trying to drop into the main base. The Lings are here. Keep in mind, both players now have the 3-3 upgrades. INnoVation is no longer ahead in those. The Ultralisks are coming out. The Chitin is plating. The Mutas, though, might be able to catch these medevacs. INnoVation is trying to get away here. The booster cooldown is about to run out, but these Mutas should be able to grab these Marines. Does kill off one of those Mutalisks. And INnoVation with another push already coming in will shut down this hatchery building in the center. Solar needs to get a little bit more economy. He's quite strapped for resources right now, stuck at about 139 supply. INnoVation, though, continuously pushing towards max, and he's going to get a 5th command center. He's preparing to take an additional base, and I think once INnoVation secures one more base of mining, he's just going to have too many resources for Solar to handle. A lot of Banelings on the way. The R2 Ultralisk here. Will INnoVation be able to break this position? The Baneling immediately gets target fired. One Ultralisk is down. The Broodlords are coming in, but there's not really too much here to buffer for those Broodlords. Now the Baneling should be able to get hit on top of these Marines. We might see INnoVation load up and try to evacuate the Widow Mines. I'm only doing friendly fire due to those Broodlings, but there's another big push heading towards the bottom. INnoVation is not stopping. He's sending push after push. He says, yes, you stop this army, but now I have another one ready and waiting. INnoVation is going to press into the natural expansion of Solar, just dealing so much damage to these to the Zerg player's army, and the Banelings are trying to stream in here, but the Marines getting in a bit of a choke. They want to focus down the Ultralisks, but those are quite good with the chitinous plating. The Broodlords are here. There's already another force for INnoVation at the top side. He's not been stopping. I feel like my observer camera's just been on Solar's base all game long because INnoVation will not leave him alone. Trying to focus down this hatchery with his Marauders gets quite close, but he will be forced to lift up. Still has a double drop on the left side, though. A Marauder preventing this base from being rebuilt. The Zerglings will catch that. But look at this. INnoVation already has another monstrous army, and I am not sure if Solar is going to be able to hold on at this point. He actually lost his Ultralisk Cavern during that run by. He cannot produce any more. I mean, almost a funny thing to mention because he can't afford any more Ultralisks. These two Marauders, oh, they do get dropped in. We pick off the hatchery just barely as they will then die. Horrible, painful deaths, but INnoVation... this could be the part where he goes for the killing blow here. The Broodlords do shut down this drop at least. Well, they kind of poke at it, and now he's just going to boost away towards the main. And at the same time, this big push is coming in the front. INnoVation, he needs to burrow these Widow Mines. Here come the Lings and the Ultralisk. The split from the Marines. Is it going to be good? The Banelings get a couple of solid detonations, actually really thinning out the bio, but there's just too much here for INnoVation. GG, STX Seoul. INnoVation takes game number 1 against Samsung Consoler for the IEM Shanghai 2013 Stage 2 qualifier.